Hello everybody, on this beautiful, beautiful sunny day. You'll have to excuse the washing in the background. I hope you can see me. Looks a bit high up. Wobble, wobble, wobble. I'm not wearing my... Oh gosh, that looks even worse now. One of these days I will get this camera setting right. One of these days I will. Right, let's hope that's it. And now, courtesy of whoever, we've now got an aeroplane going over. It's wonderful, isn't it? Anyway, it's a glorious, glorious sunny day, so you'll have to excuse the sunglasses and excuse the washing in the background because it's a glorious drying day. And you know, we've got to dry our bedding outside when we can do. I finally put the ribbons in this top, finally. So that's ready for having its photograph taken for Etsy. I brought two others out on the decking. The pink one you've seen many times before. It's a small sized one, made in a pink cotton from Hobium. Very nice. It's called Mamiya, I think, the cotton. Glorious. They do sell the vintage pattern still on Etsy, if you want the link, but it is small sized and it is UK crochet terms. So I will warn all of you ladies in the US about that. This is another pattern that's a vintage pattern. I think, oh, I've got a wasp hanging around me now. This again I think is still available on Etsy, I think. Somebody thought last night on the live channel that I'd knitted this, but I haven't. If you look at it, it's crocheted sideways. It's double crochet if you're in the UK, single crochet if you're in the US, and it's done into the back loops, which gives it this ribbed effect. And then you pick up sideways along and then do it upwards. This has kind of got the largest armhole, so I think it's going to have to be worn with a camisole underneath it, otherwise you may be showing it underwear. Oh dear me. Well, I've got orders to settle into. One lady, I'm still waiting for her to get back in touch with me, which colour magenta she wants. And this is for a lady who's in New Zealand. So I need to get on with it really, because she would like it by June the 26th if possible. And I'm not sure how long it takes in the post to New Zealand. She wanted the same colour as the Lena Lovegood cardigan, you know, from Harry Potter. So, you know, of course I have to order from web pages, and colours, as you know, are so different. Oh, apologies if you can hear in the background, they're having a party in the park, and you can hear the lovely brass band. So sorry to the ladies who complain that they can't hear because I've got music playing in the background. I can't help this, I can't turn it off. Right, it's a party in the park. So anyway, I ordered that one, which was the Fab double knitting by Peyton's, and it's too dark. I think the best colour that's closest to this Lena Lovegood is this King Cole Cotton Soft. I got both of these from Purple Linda, but you can get them in other sites as well. This one's called Violet, and it's shade 717. It's a King Cole Cotton Soft. I think it's a cotton mix. Oh no, it's 100% cotton, I beg your pardon. 100% cotton, but it is a machine washable. In real life it's sort of like a bluish purple. I don't know what colour it's coming out on the camera, because like as I said many times before, I don't have a camera that's got a forward facing so I can see what I'm actually videoing. This one I think is called shade 02313. I presume it's more of a violet, isn't it, or a light purple shade. Oh, it says, welcome to the world of inspiration. And the birds are out as well, just to add a little bit more noise. But at least we haven't got any lawnmowers at the moment. Right, my work in progress at the moment is I was crocheting this during the royal wedding yesterday, so I should call it the royal sweater. It's not finished, as you can see. It's got loads and loads of tassels on it. It's just a simple shell design. There is no pattern for it, just me and my head. It needs sewing up, as you can see, and all the ends sewing in. It'll just be a little summer top with a white edging. I don't know what size it is. When I'm crocheting in, sort of out of my head, what do you call it, freestyle, I don't set off with size in mind. I just set off and it just happens to be what it happens to be, if you know what I mean. Let me just have a drink. Oh, sorry about that. The brass band is starting up again. I hope it's not too distracting. I hope you like it. Typical English sound, isn't it? Man, you've been watching the royal wedding, you'll know that we have bands and we have all sorts of... Oh, there's my hook. Thank goodness it didn't go down one of the gaps in the decking. This is another order. It looks rather huge, but it's because I'm doing it all in one up to the armholes. It's going to be a cardigan when it's done. I'm doing it quite close together, if you can see, because I didn't want it to be too gappy, you know, and drop when she washed it. So it'll be a V-neck cardigan when it's finished. I was doing this when I was talking on my live video last night. If you were one of the people who was watching me, thank you very much. I appreciate a lot of you were tired, especially if you got up very, very early for the royal wedding. I celebrated the occasion by wearing my fascinator, which I haven't worn since another wedding I went to in Greece quite a few years ago. And I thought it was quite a formal thing to wear a fascinator, but when I got there, I was the only one wearing one. But still, I still wore it with style. And some old lady said to me, "At least you're dressed correctly for a wedding," because I had a nice floaty dress on and this fascinator. So I thought I was dressed. My one criticism of the royal wedding was I wanted to see more of the guests arriving, who they were, what they were wearing. I didn't want to see all the people who were chatting, you know, in the studio and talking about who they thought was going to design her dress and things like that. I wanted to see who was arriving, because I'm nosy. You know, I mean, I did see a few people arriving, but I wanted to see what they all had on. As you know, I love fashion. I don't wear it, of course, you know, because I'm a bit too old, but it doesn't mean to say I don't like watching fashion and trying to keep up with what people are wearing. I mean, I've spent half the morning on Pinterest, because I love Googling, well, not Googling, Pinteresting, you know, boho designs and boho living rooms and how I would like, you know, my living room to be if I had a free reign and money, of course. You know, so I look up ideas that maybe I can copy inexpensively, you know, like wall hangings, etc. And I've got two beautiful wall hangings that Grace sent to me in purples. And I was going to use them in the craft room, but the craft room's a bit busy. So I'm trying to think of somewhere to incorporate them into. Maybe the room I do the video in, you know, put it on the wall there behind me. Because you know me and my purples, I love my purples. This is why I know that any purple that's not getting used will get used, if you know what I mean. Because I just love my purples. Yes, I'm waiting for the pattern when she sort of publishes it from Jen Cherry, which is Star Lily Creations. She's made like a granny square top that's off the shoulder with little short sleeves, or you can do long sleeves, I presume. And I just love anything like that. Sadly, as you know, I don't think that they would sell if I make them, but I do love them. I was just discussing with Zoe today, saying I would just love to go to have a stall at one of these festivals, you know, where that kind of style of things would be appreciated, but I don't have any transport and I'm not prepared to sleep in a tent, if you know what I mean. So I will never get there. But that's one thing I would like to do. And also I've always said I would like to have a fashion student, you know, one who maybe wants to learn to crochet or to knit, or even to knit on my knitting machine or something like that. And in exchange she would give me ideas of, you know, what to crochet and what she would like to do. I'm saying she, but it could be a he, I suppose. But it's more likely to be a she, isn't it, when fashion's involved. And you know, what kind of modern styles that I could crochet that would be a seller among the younger people. I know there's a niche out there for me somewhere, but I'm still trying to find it. It's like we were saying to, I was saying to Zoe this morning, you know, it's just finding the right thing. I've got the expertise to crochet, but not the younger ideas, if you know what I'm saying. My head's sort of stuck where I am in the 70s. 70 years old, not the 70s. And I do try to look up on fashion channels and things like that. But I don't know, when I look online, all these people have got very, very boring sweaters. You try to look up boho crochet and you get the old, same old, you know, from the 70s or the 80s or whatever it was, you know. And I just want to be more with it. I mean, personally I'm without it, but that's by the by. But I would like my designs to be more with it, so I could be more interested in crocheting with colour, because I love granny squares, granny stitches, but don't mention Afghans, please don't mention Afghans. Or granny square blankets. No, that just does not fill me with inspiration, I'm sorry, it doesn't. But I do like granny stitch garments, granny square garments, bright coloured waistcoats that are incorporating lots of colours. That's what I would like to do. So if you've got any suggestions of bright coloured things that I could make that you think would sell, but I said please no Afghans. no granny squares. Well, no granny square blankets, I should say. I don't mind granny square coats and things. I mean, the granny square coat I made, people asked me would I make another one for Etsy, but it would be knowing what to charge, because there were so many hours involved in making that. I mean, the idea came originally from a firm called Anthropology, and they did theirs in like a beige colour with all shades of browns and beiges, but it sold for over £1,000. And you know, even if I wanted to get even half of that money, I just wouldn't. You know, I don't know how much people would be prepared to pay for a granny stitch, granny square long jacket. I mean, if I could get my money's worth for all the hours I spend crocheting it, I wouldn't mind doing another one, but I couldn't sell it like for, say, £100 or something like that, which I think was more what people would want to pay, because that just wouldn't be any profit at all for me for wasting, well, not wasting, but you know, using about 2-3 weeks worth of crochet, when I could have made other things that would be more profitable. I mean, sorry to harp on about this, but I am in this trying to get a little bit of extra pin money, whatever you want to call it. I think they call it seed money or egg money or whatever they call it. But a little bit of extra, you know, to make my life more pleasurable. I exist from day to day on a pension. I know I keep harping on about this, but you all know what it's like. Half of you are in the same position as me. You know, living life on a limited income. So wherever we can make an extra, you know, pound, an extra dollar here and there, it's good. As I said many times before, I would never make a living out of it. I will never be rich. But I would like to have a little bit more comfortable style of living, where I could maybe afford a holiday now and again. I mean, the last holiday I went on was 6 years ago, I think, when I went to Skiathos. And before that, it was about 15 years before that I went on a holiday. I keep looking forward to Zoe or someone organising a trip, you know, for one of these weekends of crochet. Maybe hire a cottage somewhere, or it would have to be a house really with our lot, wouldn't it? you know, where we could just sit and crochet. There wouldn't be any tuition or anything like that, unless it was us sharing ideas and sharing techniques, but I've still got that in my head. I would like to do that. Of course, ideally I would love to do a cruise, but that is completely out of my pocket. Completely. I'd have to get a passport anyway first. My mouth's so dry today. My type of cruise would be a rowing boat up the Manchester Ship Canal. Somebody else rowing while I did my crochet. I could call it a cruise, I suppose. A cruise up the, oh gosh, what's it called? Irwell, yeah. Cruise up the Irwell. Yeah. Or I could always make it to Liverpool, couldn't I? And crochet across the Mersey and back, you know, the ferry across the Mersey that Jerry and the Pacemakers made famous. So what am I going to do for the rest of today? Well, I've got one more lot of washing in the washing machine, and when that stops, that's going to go on the line if I cut some dry things off it. Fortunately, it's lovely and hot, and the duvet covers and things like that will dry very quickly. Then I'm going to take some photographs from Etsy of what I have finished, and then, if possible, try to finish this off today, and then I can put this on Etsy. And my thing for this week is going to be to do some of the bag linings. Kelly is going down to the fabric shop tomorrow, and I'm hoping that she can find me some plain white to do the white bags. Well, the reason why I want to do the white bags first is because I'm bone idle and the white thread is in the machine at the minute. So I want to sew the white bags first, if you know what I'm saying, so that I don't have to rethread the machine. Lazy or what. So I'm hoping she can get me some plain white material. It's at times like this I miss having transport, because then I could go down and have a look at these fabric shops and see what they've actually got. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to make clothes for myself. I mean, Kelly, I'm yarn inspired. She's going to start making little tops for herself. My expertise is usually probably more in very amateurish project bags, which I really don't use because I've only really got 1 or 2 projects on the go at once anyway. Once I put things in a project bag, that's it, they're forgotten. I'm not organised like most people who know exactly what's in what bag and things like that. Oh, next door is rustling about. I don't know what they're doing. I hope you can still hear me. Yeah, I mean, people complain that they can't hear me when I sit out on my decking. That they have, but I mean, they can turn the volume up on their machines and things like that, because I can't yell when I'm out here for obvious reasons. You know, I've got neighbours, and I can't help the birds, and I can't help the brass band in the background. I can't help things like this, so I do hope that you understand why sometimes it's a little noisy when I sit outside. But when you live in Manchester and it rains as much as it does, it's so nice to get the opportunity to sit outside. That's all I'm going to say. So happy Sunday to you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and you have a productive week ahead. And I will try and make more videos. I was a bit slacking last week. I just was not in the mood at all last week to do a video. Lazy-itis, call it what you will. But I'll try my best to make another couple of videos this coming week. And all I will say is bye for now, and have a lovely Sunday, and I hope your weather is as nice as ours is. And I'm sorry if I'm blinding you with my jazzy top. Bye for now.